Screaming like the start of a race. Diet Pepsi's my fuel in this Monday maze. Shake the weekend fog off my tired face. The hustling begins, no time to waste. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show. Sun clouds up higher, chasing dreams like chasing fire. Got my rhythm set to overdrive. This Monday motivation vibe's keeping me alive. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show. Street lights fading, sun climbs up higher, chasing dreams like chasing fire. Got my rhythm set to overdrive. This Monday motivation vibe's keeping me alive. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, I own the show. Know that we can be heavy, but I'm tougher still. Climbing the mountain, fueled by will. Each heartbeat whispers, yes you can. I'm golden, helping every woman and man. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show.
Hey guys, what is up? It is Monday Motivation. I'm your host for tonight's Monday Motivation, as I am for all Monday Motivations. If you do not know who I am Pamela, aka Scooterrenee, and that's usually when I say I'm the host, whatever. Anyways, welcome in everybody. Took a week off and you see what happens. Everything just gets forgotten. So welcome in. I am, like I said, Pamela, aka Scooterrenee. I do Monday Motivations on Mondays at 8 p.m. unless I'm on vacation like last week. And I also do auctions usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and on the weekends. And then I also go around to other channels as well. So it is important that you do the YouTube things. You subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure you ring that bell for all notifications so you know when I go live, upload new content, or post to the community tab, what used to be the community tab, and let you know where I'm hanging out at. And also a thumbs up on your way in, on your way out. I would just greatly appreciate it if you would do it at some point while we're live. That would be awesome. So welcome in. If you are new to my channel, I hope you'll continue to come back. There's great things that go on here. There are great people that are always in the chat. It is a safe place for you to be vulnerable, to share what you really think, what you're really going through, and no judgment or bullying or drama or anything like that over here. So I'm pretty proud of that. If you are the OGs, you know who you are because I see your beautiful names and avatars coming in. So welcome in, everybody. It feels so good to be back. I took last week off, and so we're going to be jumping right back into this new series that we just started 2 weeks ago. So I'm excited to share more with you on that. And if you're the playback crew, welcome in. Leave me a comment. Let me know that you're the playback crew because I always love to know who is watching the playback. So just comment below. You can just simply put playback, or you can put more if you want to put more. That's fine. So welcome in. We're going to see who all's in chat right now. There are a lot of great things going on YouTube tonight. And that's great. I encourage you to jump around if you want to jump around. If you want to stay right here, because tonight's topic, let me tell you, as I'm telling y'all things, do realize I am pointing fingers back at me because, it just hit right at home for me tonight. So let's see. We got Josie here. Hello, Josie. Welcome in. Good to see you. I've missed you. And Joanne, hello. Welcome in. Good to see you. I've missed you as well. I miss all of y'all. It was kind of nice, though, to kind of take a break, not have to worry about coming up with notes for Monday Motivation, not worry about coming up with my items to show in the auctions. It was nice just to kind of take a break. So, hey, Jory, welcome in. Good to see you. So glad to see you. We got Shelby here. Hello, Shelby. Woohoo! Yes. Started playing that new song, and I was like, oh, I remember why I love this song. All right. Shelby says, to change any aspect of our life, we must be willing to change our mind. Unfortunately, that is the one thing most people are least willing to do. By Bill Crawford, right? Yes, thank you, Shelby. All right. So like I said, more people are going to be coming in here and there as they get the notification, as they jump around. So we'll make sure we say hello to those people as they come in. So I am back, like I said, from vacation. I got this cute little shirt while I was on vacation as well, so I had to wear it today. But we had a great time. I was worn out each day that we were going. I was asleep by 10 o'clock at night, if not sooner. Great time with my man, Roadflow. I think we went to at least four flea markets a day while we were going. So that was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think we went to one on Friday. So that's about 12 to 15 flea markets that we went to while we were going total for the whole trip. So that was a lot for us. Shelby asks, who watched Bella? Tammy, Dream Chaser, watched Bella for me. They always watch Bella. Bella loves being with them. She gets to not be stuck here at the house. She gets to go with them up to the flea market and hang out with them. And then they got Maggie, their little part lab, part Dotson. Don't know how that happened. Y'all explain that one to me. And Dallas, who is part lab and something else. But Dallas and Bella look so similar to each other, but they're not related from the same litter or anything. So she got to go have some fun while Mom and Dad were going. I don't think she even missed us. She didn't even act like she missed us when we got home. Either that or she was mad at us, one or the other, right? Hey, Nancy Smith, welcome in. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. But yeah, so we were like busy every day that we were going, but yet it was a good kind of busy. I don't know if that makes sense. But let me tell you, the flea markets that we went to, they were no easy feat whatsoever. Every single one of them, they were all easily 20 to 30,000 square feet, if not more, give or take, in that square footage. Massive big. And when you're going to 4 of those a day, like we were hitting our, steps for the day. If we went by that, we were definitely hitting our steps for the day. So lots and lots of walking, and there were so many of them that were named peddler malls. And I've never seen that name used as much. I think we have one here in Arkansas that has peddler in it. But like up there, Robert's like, how many of these are we going to go to? And I'm like, well, that's just what their names are. So there were so many right there. We kind of stayed south of Louisville, so kind of around Louisville area. And I think we even went into Louisville one time. So, but all in all, it was a great trip. We also went to General Patton Museum because Roadflow is a history nut. And I really enjoyed that way more than I thought I was going to enjoy. And we also went to the Corvette Museum that's in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So that was our goal coming back, was to at least hit those two places. But we were both kind of disappointed in the Corvette Museum. It wasn't as extravagant as I thought it was going to be. And maybe if we had done like the guided tour thing, we would have enjoyed it more. But it definitely did not fit what I thought it was going to be. And I think Robert was a little disappointed. And there was another car museum, or I don't even know if you call it museum, but they take cars in, and it's in their big showroom next to the Corvette place. So we went over there, and they had like all your cars from the 60s, the 70s, whatever. 50s, and that was really neat to me because I had a 1956 Chevy, which is what my dad used to drag race. So Robert got a picture of me by that car that was also the same in color as what my dad's original 56 Chevy looked like before he painted it for the drag racing. So that was really neat. I have to say that this was probably one of my favorite trips that Roflo and I went on because we both had not been there. And so it was neat to explore and see things together. And I just look forward to seeing more with him as well as we go to these other places that we got, kind of talked about going to. And I was just really in the moment, and I ended up not doing any lives, didn't do any shorts to drop any hashtags or anything. I was just in the moment. We were just doing so much each day as well. So I did record some of the places that we went to. So stay tuned for those. And it was just a great, relaxing trip, even though we were, going place to place. But we had no real agenda except what flea markets we wanted to hit and everything. And I got to wake up when I wanted to, which was really nice. Robert's a morning person. I'm not. And so it was nice. And when I say sleep, like I got up around anywhere from 7 to 8 o'clock, the absolute latest. But I don't even think I got up at 8 o'clock. It was all before that. So it was just nice not to have an alarm to wake up to, except for one morning. Somehow I hit the button on the alarm clock at 6 a.m. It went off, and Robert's like, turn your phone off. I'm like, it's not my phone. And he's looking for his. And come find out it was the alarm clock because I plugged my phone or something into it and accidentally hit a button. So other than that, we had no alarms that we woke up to. So that was great. But lots of fun memories. I got meetings on the brain because I'm back at work this week. So, all right, quick announcement. Hey, Tammy, Dream Chaser is here. Welcome. That is who took care of our Bella girl for us while we were gone. Quick announcements. We are doing the hashtag drawing for tomorrow night on the one price short of a Happy Meal with Selena at 7:30 p.m. Central. So you have until midnight tonight to get all your hashtags in from the 1st of March to today. And if you do not know what this is, I drop a short video every day. Not every day, but I drop a short video with a hashtag word. And all you have to do is comment below that video with that hashtag word. And you get entered into the drawing. And you have to watch the video because I've now added little tricks to it. So you have to watch it to see if I put a trick in for that day or not to know what your hashtag word for the day is. So you have to pay attention this time. All right. Also, the chat participation for Monday Motivation is still going on. So tonight, if you participate in the chat participation questions that I ask you, then you get entered into the drawing. And we're going to do that, the first drawing for that next Monday Motivation, because it'll be actually the first Monday for April. So we'll do that drawing next week. And then the other announcement is thank you guys for your support last week while I was gone. That you either, my buy it now videos that you either purchased, you commented, you watched it. Thank you guys for your support while I was gone and watching those. If you didn't get a chance, those are still up from last week for you to go and watch and see if there's anything that you might possibly like to purchase. Again, just comment below that video in the comments with the item number or numbers of things that you would like. And I have put what has sold in the description at the very top of the description. So you can check that before if there was you can see if something that you like has already been purchased, then you don't have to comment for that item because it's already been sold. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. All right. Hey, there's my feather sister, Selena. Welcome in. So 2 weeks ago, we started our new series on getting our minds unscrewed and how we go about start unscrewing ourselves. And basically, it's about getting out of our heads and back into our lives. So tonight's topic is the second topic of the 9-week series that we're doing. So if you're just now joining, if tonight's your first night to join us on this series, you can go back to March 17th, 2 weeks ago, and watch that episode 116, called our hamster. And then you can get caught up and be right where we're at tonight for tonight's topic. So tonight's show is titled, I Am Willing. And I can't wait to dive into this with you guys and just see what all this entails. And if you're curious as well, then I encourage you to stick around. But let's get started. Positive spot thought. If you're willing to walk down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress. And then another one that I liked was, I am willing to believe that I am worthy of good things happening in my life. So like I said in my short today, if you watched my short for today, because you had to get your hashtag in, I explained last week that this series, or 2 weeks ago was actually when I explained it, that this series, hey, cool, welcome in. There's my sister, welcome in. Good to see you, cool. I saw you over at Tammy's, but I didn't know if you were still in there. So hello, thank you. I was glad to be back from vacay because I always miss Bella, obviously. And I'm, miss all of you guys for my shows and stuff. At the same time, at work today, I was just slammed. And I was like, oh, the phone wouldn't quit ringing. I couldn't get caught up on anything. I had to finish up my notes for tonight. It was just a mess. But anyways, back to today, the short that I made today. I explained that 2 weeks ago, the series is going to possibly push us out of our comfort zone. It will confront some things that we might not necessarily want to admit to as well. And these next 8 weeks might also annoy you. They might jar you. They might aspirate you. Today was my first taste of that. But you just simply have to get over yourself, Scooter. Get over yourself and keep coming back, because it's all going to come together in the end like a good book or a good movie that you watch. So keep coming back. Hang in there with me for these topics. But like tonight's topic, like I said, it just struck a chord with me. So tonight's topic, these next few weeks, they're going to require you to think, to cognitively connect your language and your feelings in a real and conscious way with your everyday life. They're going to make you explore the vast landscapes of your life that present themselves when you begin to understand the connection between how you speak and how you feel. And again, I would like to encourage you to take notes of things you want to remember, things you want to implement, the things that ring your bell, that slaps you in the face. Use these ideas as a starting point when you find yourself being stuck or you just simply need to recharge. So let's just get this point out of the way. Stop blaming luck. Stop blaming other people. Stop pointing to outside influences or circumstances. You have the life that you're willing to put up with. And there's one thing that I can't stand to hear. I'll listen, but it just goes all over me. And it's just 5 words. And these 5 words have power in them. You give them so much power when you say these 5 words. And my oldest daughter, who I had lunch with before we went on our trip, she said this while we were eating lunch. And she's also my strong-willed child. So it's one of those, yeah, she's just going to have to figure this out on her own. But she said these 5 words, and it really made me think about those words today as I was going through my notes and so forth. And they went all over me then. And as I thought back on that, it went all over me today. And she's 30, by the way. So when I say my oldest daughter, she's a grown child. She's a grown adult now. But the words that she said that she gives so much of her power to And maybe you have said these words, or you find yourself feeling this way now. Maybe today you feel this way. But those 5 words, they have so much power. And the words that she said was, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. And we were basically discussing where her life is in this moment. And I, as her mother, wants to fix where she is in her life in this moment. But I also realized that, one, she's a 30-year-old grown adult woman. And 2, she has to want to change her life. I can't just want it and fix it for her. Right? Cool. You know where I'm going. But I can't do that for her. And maybe you can't make... Where was I going with this? Let me go back. But those, I'm going back to my notes. Those 5 words, when you have a negative mindset, have so much power. I don't have a choice. We all have a choice. The question is, are you willing to do what you need to do, even if you don't want to change where you are? Maybe you can't make some drastic big choices, big changes, but you can start making smaller choices that will set you up for those big choices that you get to make. They set, you start planting those seeds and they become big things for you. You can start making small steps towards it. Again, you have to be willing to start somewhere if you truly want to change. So what are those problems? What are those dark shadows you have in your life that are currently spoiling the warmth and happiness? Maybe you work. If you work, do you hate your job? Maybe you're married or dating, whatever. Do you hate the relationship that you're in? Is there something wrong with your health? Maybe you're overweight, type 2 diabetes. I've been there. I'm still kind of there. Or something else. Do you hate where you live? Maybe it's somewhere that you live. Do you hate where you live, or do you hate the car that you have? What is it? What are those problems? Because if it is one of those things, then fine. Get a new job. End that relationship. Change your eating habits. Add some exercise in there if you want to. Or locate what can help you. Move to a different place. Get a different car. It seems just downright simple, right? It seems so easy. It sounds like just a snap of the finger, you could do it. We even have things that we have no say in. Things like death of a loved one or losing a business. While you might not have a say in when that happens or how it happens or whatever, you do have a massive say in how you live your life in the aftermath of those events. This was my argument with my daughter. I obviously will not share her whole story with you or share any of her story really and where she's at in her life, because that's her story. That's not my story to tell. But it was a very brief one because, like I said, I can't make her do anything she isn't willing to do. I can offer words of support and encourage her and give her ideas and, advice and stuff like that. But I also don't want to enable her to where she still isn't willing to take action herself. If you're not willing to take the actions, in other words, you're choosing to stay in the victimhood mentality, you're willing to unpack your bags there and stay at victimhood Carlton, like Ritz Carlton, but victimhood Carlton. You may not know this, but you're actually saying that and that you're willing to put up with your situation. That was the whole legits of my conversation with her. Well, then, whether you like it or not, my friend, my child, my whoever, whether you like it or not, that's the life you have chosen. You made a choice. You made the choice of what you want to do. California is a whole nother story, Josie. Now, before you start throwing your butt, not your actual butt, but before you start throwing your butts or start getting all defensive and crossing your arms and getting all huffy at me, let me add this. Let me add this. By defending the very circumstances as they are right now, where you're at in this moment, you are actually making a case for being where you are. There can be no buts. You can't afford the buts. These buts are excess baggage on a trip that requires you to travel light. Epictetus, I think is how you say his name, said, circumstances don't make the man. They only reveal him to himself. Meaning the true measure of who you are won't be found in your circumstances, but rather the way in which you respond to these circumstances. As I started with, stop blaming luck. Well, I guess so-and-so is luckier than I am. All the luck is on their side. Stop blaming other people. Well, I have a crappy husband, or I have a crappy boss, or I'm this way because of my parents. Stop pointing to outside influences or circumstances. Stop blaming your childhood or the neighborhood. Just stop blaming it all on other things. You cannot constantly keep dwelling, taking up residence in the blame game in your life. Even blaming yourself is completely 100% useless. What is it going to do for you? Nothing. Yes, we are going to find ourselves in situations that we seemingly can't control. We are going to face tragic circumstances. But let me tell you this. There is always something you can do to impact those circumstances, even if you've had them for years and still can't see a way. But first, you must be willing. Look, you must first accept that while there are things in your life that have happened that you had no say in, you are 100% responsible for what you do with your life in the aftermath of those circumstances. 100%, always, every time, no excuses. You know, the saying people say, well, opinions are like buttholes, everyone has one. Excuses work that way too. Everyone has one. Willingness. When I looked up this word, it says willingness, the quality or state of being prepared to do something. It's readiness. Readiness to do what needs to be done. Willingness is the state in which we can engage with life and see a situation from a whole new perspective. It all starts with you, and it all ends with you. So just like with my daughter, just like with you, no one can make you do things that you're not willing to do. And you cannot move forward until you are willing to make the next move. Again, no matter how little or minute the move is, you have to make the next move if you want to change your circumstances. When you decide to say, I am willing, there's this innate freedom that starts coursing through your veins. And actually, it's the same feeling when you are not as well as willing. The kind of when at first that stuckness that halts and presses down on you like a weight on your chest, there's a freedom from that. And I hear you if you're on the other side of the screen saying, I'm willing, but you remember what but means when we use that word, right? When we use the word but. I love you, but I like that you clean the house, but means that what you just said is true. Just like I am willing, but there's something different or opposite that also applies or that you want to add. It also can mean ignore everything I just said before that but. Each and every time we choose to add but to the end of a statement like I am willing, but you turn yourself into the victim. I know there are many complex life situations that many are going through. I also know many that have turned that complex life situation into the life they decided to go for. I know that from the darkest of past to the weight and gravity of the present and the fear of the future as well. I also know many that got out of the darkest path, gave light to their new life, and dropped the weights off and decided to not be a victim and stare down into the eyes of the future and said, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm ready for it. And I'm not here to piss you off. Well, maybe I am. But the intention is, really I'm not, but the intention is to fire you up to your own potential, to realize your own greatness, not just to piss you off. What if willingness was missing from your life? Not just some weak, minor willingness, but that bold willingness. The one that states that you are ready for what's next and ready to act on it. The willingness to change, willingness to let go, willingness to accept. So, that wouldn't be me. No, I'm just kidding. We won't talk about how many times I do that to Robert, though. Right, cool? So, first chat participation of the night. Who believes that you can control your destiny? Just put that you do or you don't. And this isn't a hard one. Who believes that you can control your destiny? Either you do or you don't. Just put do, don't, whatever you want to put in chat. And I will start each of you so that way I know to go back and give you your entry into the Monday motivation drawing. Y'all notice what that is? It's a sloth. Selena got that for me from Christy. All right, so we got Joanne, Cool, Nancy, Selena, and Josie all say do. Thank you, ladies. So, I am here to tell you that you do have a choice. You can control your destiny, or your destiny will control you. Seneca, I believe I'm pronouncing that person's name right too, hopefully, said, fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. Life will not stop. It's not going to pause for you and pause for your procrastinations. It's not going to stop for your confusion or your fear. Life will keep on going right along without you, regardless if you play an active part or not. The show's going to continue to go on. And those of us that have experienced major losses in our lives, we can attest to this. Life is just going to keep on rolling on by. That's why I am willing is so very important. And I thought was a pretty important topic that we needed to discuss. However, before you say, I am willing, you have a very important question, and you have to answer yourself honestly. Am I willing? Not only I am willing, but am I willing? And that question alone demands an answer. It's not put out there to be left there with nothing of the universe. The 3-word question, am I willing, pulls for a response. The power of those 3 words in a question is irresistible, and you cannot escape its press for the truth. Questions like, am I willing to go to the gym? Am I willing to work on that death pal that I've been meaning to list? Maybe you're a reseller like me. Am I willing to work on that death pal I've been meaning to list? Am I willing to face my social fears? Am I willing to ask for a raise I deserve or quit this crappy job? The question behind the question of am I willing is, are you willing to stop living the life you have and start living for the life you're after? It all begins with the emergence of willingness. Am I willing? We often use words for ourselves that describes us as being procrastinators. I'm just a procrastinator. I put things off. Or maybe you use the word I'm lazy. Or maybe it's the word unmotivated. Funny, I used that exact word yesterday when I was talking to Tammy. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm just unmotivated today. I just used that word yesterday. So talk about a little slap in the face for me tonight. Is that I was really, what I was saying to her when I said that I was unmotivated was really that I was really simply unwilling. I was just unwilling to do anything. I just wanted to sit in my recliner, watch TV, veg out on my phone, and do nothing. But some of us put things off or we avoid it completely altogether because we just tell ourselves, we convince ourselves that we just don't want to do it or that we can't do it. So instead of looking at this like it's a flaw, let's create this willingness where there isn't any. Let's create this state of openness and potential. When we were children, when we were little bitty, that state was so easy to access. It was simply enlivened by the vigor of our youth or the curiosity that we used to have as kids. And as we've gotten older, somehow we've lost that touch with this magical state. Thank you, guys. Y'all get extra credit. So instead, a famous philosopher, Nicola, I'm throwing some big ones out there at myself, Machiavelli, something like that, said, hey, Sandy. Hey, sweetheart. I've missed you. But Nicola, however you say it, where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. He was saying that it does not matter what you're facing in life, no matter what obstacle you're trying to overcome, if you're willing to open the door, have the state of willingness, the difficulties cannot be greater than your willingness. It's the door that opens to making the effort, taking the steps that are needed, dealing with the setbacks that come your way. I didn't say you weren't going to have setbacks. They're going to come. But it ultimately creates the progress and change in your life that you're seeking. Just stating I am willing is profound. When you say, I am willing, like Selena did and Nancy Smith did, I am willing. It makes you come alive and empowers you by its promise. So here's the next chat participation time. Selena and Nancy knew where I was going with this. Somehow. Chat participation time. So let me ask you, are you willing? Are you willing? And we're going to be talking about the opposite and everything, so hang in there. Are you willing? You can just put yes or I'm willing or whatever. I feel like some of y'all get in my head sometimes. Nancy, yes. Joanne, I am willing. Cool Ranch, I am willing. Awesome. So what do we do when the door is closed? Now, sometimes the best answer is that we can give is we're just unwilling. Sometimes declaring the unwillingness can be just as powerful. All right, Scooter, you're confusing me. You first said I am willing. Now you're saying I can not be willing. Josie says I'm willing. Thank you, Josie. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Kick it down. That dang door, right? Kick it down. But even the things that you're unwilling can be just as powerful. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Things like when asked, are you willing to live with a body that's not healthy? No. Are you willing to live paycheck to paycheck still? No. Are you willing to put up with the toxic relationships? No. That's when you say, I am unwilling. Sometimes unwillingness ignites a resolve and determination as well. It too gives you the robust and urgent approach to your situation. Be unwilling where it represents a line drawn in the sand, where you're not willing to go back or back down from it. It's when you're unwilling to continue to simply exist, where you're unwilling to feel unsatisfied and unfulfilled. It's only then where you will make the effort necessary to make a change. When you become unwilling to put up with the bull crap any longer is when you will grab your shovel and start digging. And during this time is perhaps no greater motivation to change than the unwillingness to do this any longer. Let's throw another chat participation out there. Which one works for you in your life currently? I am willing or I am unwilling. And keep in mind that sometimes unwilling can potentially be just as powerful as being willing. So which one works for you in your life currently, where you're at right this very moment? And then we're going to build on that. Are you in a willing part of your life or an unwilling part of your life? Nancy Smith says both depends, right? Depends on what situation you might be in for whatever situation is going on. To me, it's almost like a challenge to myself, sometimes. Cool says willing. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Josie says willing for most. There we go. Sandy says willing. Selena says, I am not willing to put up with stupid bull crap. See, that's how that works. Very good. You are a good student, Selena. All right. Whatever. All right, hold on, because Joanne. Unwilling to be taken advantage of, but willing to change the circumstance. Woo! You just add some power to that, girl. Unwilling to be taken advantage of, but willing to change the circumstance. Love it. Sandy says, I just let the rest fly over my head. Whatever the circumstances might be in a given moment, sometimes you feel empowered by the assertion of I am willing. And for others, it might be declaring I am unwilling that gives them the strength and resolve. Just like Selena said, I am not willing to put up with stupid bullcrap. She just gave herself power in that, saying that. Joanne, the power right there. Unwilling to be taken advantage of, but willing to change the circumstance. Love it. So sometimes you might find that you're motivated by both equally, Joanne. That statement is so fitting at this moment. Sometimes you might feel you're more motivated by both equally, depending on the situation you find yourself in. You can reframe the way you approach a problem, no matter what category you fall into. So let's take, for example, are you willing to find a new job? Yes, I am willing. Are you willing to stay in a job you hate? No, I am unwilling. Both of those can be effective as the other. It's up to you to determine which one fits you in the situation, which one speaks to you, which one does it for you. I am willing to know your block off if you keep being stupid. Stupid is, stupid does. I'm just kidding. We talked about our purpose statement back on Hero Mountain series. Another way to free you from the hamster wheel that we discussed last week, or a couple weeks ago. I keep thinking I was here last week. You were not here, Scooter. But is your unwillingness because yes, there are times, it doesn't matter how many times you said or what you have asked yourself, that you just can't build up the willingness long enough to change anything. Sometimes you just can't get there with the willing. Oh, no. Oh, knock off? Okay. I like the whole block idea. One of you might be life's greatest starters, but not finishers. I'm that when it comes to a project. I started out really well. I had the best intentions and everything. I just don't always finish them. But you might just have to face the cold, hard truth, the harsh reality that you have been too willing to remain the same. Unwilling to change your life. And let's say, for example, lose that weight for good. Anyone with me? Anyone with me on that? That somewhere in there, you are okay with living this way. Now I'm like your mom. As far as projects go. Your mom might be better at projects, though. Nancy said, I'm a good starter. I'm not a good finisher. Thank you, Nancy. Right? Yes. We must be willing. We must be okay, I should say, with living that way. If that's one thing that's been on there, I kind of ebb and flow in that whole mindset of weight losing and stuff like that. But we must be be okay with that, or we would have changed it by now, right? Kind of like a kid throwing a fit. They figure out what level of scream to get what they want so they know where to start the next time they're having a fit. At some level, you have some tolerance to having your life turn out like this, right? Oh, I love that, Selena. Daughter said beautiful words to me the other day. I never thought I would hear. I cried, right? Josie says she has to finish when she starts. And Cool Ranch says that her mom calls her projects UFOs, unfinished objects. I love it. That is cute. I love that. So, getting straight with yourself about having made the decision to stay where you are can be just as powerful as the decision to move. Why is this? Sometimes recognizing that you willingly put yourself in a place where you are unhappy is all you need. All that is required for you to make that real and lasting change. Now you have to do this. Wait, hold up. Selena said, I know me and Sandy were talking in the rain today. We said we ain't sure we won't melt or float. But no, Sandy, you've been sick. You shouldn't have been in the rain. Didn't your mom tell you that you're going to catch a cold if you stand in the rain? My mama did. I don't know. Is there really any truth in that? Now, in order to do that, you have to be willing to do that without blaming yourself and without turning yourself into a victim of some character flaw. If you're okay where you're at, you know. In a moment, you have realized that you have cognitively and systematically put yourself here. But you can also cognitively and systematically get yourself out. Just take some planning. And this is the foundation of giving yourself the grace of acceptance, embracing what has been, and daring yourself to reach for an unimaginable future. This Epictetus, how do you say his name, was a wise man. He said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. When you state and face the fact that you're unwilling to change, you then take stock of yourself and your life and begin to create a sliver of light for you to at least start. Stop it, Sandy. Here is the secret. Once you separated the task or the thing that you're dealing with from the drama of the past, you might just find that you're more open to tackling it. You get straight to the issue of itself. I have short arms. I have very short arms. I'm the same height as many of my friends, yet my arms are short. And I mean a handful, if even a handful of friends are my height. I was mainly thinking of Tammy, Dream Chaser, on this part. She's almost basically the same height as me, but her arms are so much longer. They seem so much longer than mine. So anyways, I have short arms. I'm the same height, like I said, of many of my friends, yet my arms are shorter than theirs. But there are some goals that we have that are not connected to our reality. I might have short arms, but I'm still reaching and striving for things that may seem impossible, figuratively and reality. I mean, that's what the little grabber thing is for, right? For example, we might all like to be filthy rich. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to make that much money? Get a step stool, girl, right? Only if I'm desperate enough for whatever I'm going for. Are you willing to do what it takes to make that much money, to make that kind of money, especially if you're not born into it, right? Hey, Lisa D, welcome in. Oh, you are fine. You are fine. Oh, well, I'm glad you're home, and I'm glad he's not a goner. So if you can lift Lisa D up in prayers for her brother, we would greatly appreciate that. So welcome in, Lisa D. I've missed you since I've been gone. So are you willing to make the sacrifices that's needed? Are you willing to take on more responsibility and risk it all? Have you confronted what might be demanded of you, how it might drain you on your life and your mind space? You see, society has produced this headlong rush to be the wealthiest, to be the smartest, to be the prettiest, to be the best dressed, to be the strongest, the funniest. And we have lost the ability to just be ourselves, where we're free to breathe life and choose our own path instead of the expectation of family or society. What do we produce when we're constantly in the state of being for others instead of for ourselves? I'll tell you, a whole lot of disappointment and unfulfillment. Now, this doesn't mean to stop pursuing amazing life goals if that is what you truly want. But it also doesn't mean to let yourself become stagnant and stop improving either. There's nothing wrong if you want to work long hours and sacrifice the quality of life in order to produce the income or get the job that you really want. The problem comes in for most is that they have forgotten why they are pursuing what they were pursuing in the first place. So many people in life focus solely on what they don't have, even though they might not need it or even want it. Making sure we are striving for what we really want requires a constant check-in with yourself. Unfortunately, it's not a one and done deal. If you really want those things, then go get them. Lay out your strategy, deal with your reality, and take the actions required and take them often. Now, if you're not willing to do the extra and to do what is required, then give up the wasted headspace. Stop pretending to yourself. If you quit giving yourself the BS that you don't really mean, then you'll create a capacity for loving the life you actually do have and create more room to begin striving for the things that you actually want in life. Face your reality. Then once you accept the mindset of I am unwilling, you will no longer be filled with guilt and resentment and regret every time you see something you think you want. When you really start taking a hard look at your life and the goals you have, is by doing so, it forces you to reevaluate the path that leads to them. Is walking 15 minutes twice a day or 30 minutes each day really as impossible as your mind has built it up to be? Like, I've done half marathons. A lot of people say, oh, I can never do a half marathon. Well, yeah, you could. You gotta start out small and build up. And yes, you might get sweaty, you might get tired, but do like I do and put on some power music and get it done. That's why I love the whole, the Eye of the Tiger and those kind of songs. It might be painful at first as well, but you'll get used to it and grow stronger and maybe even go further than what you thought you could go. Right, Sandy? I can always walk for ice cream. Yes. You can only get what you reach for, right? Not is that what you were finishing with? Not if the ice cream is 30 minutes away. Oh. Where am I? I'm at home. I know where you're at, Scooter. Yes. Sometimes I'll ask myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen? Well, someone says no. Something doesn't sell. Ideas get shot down. So what? The path to change starts with the same glimmer of willingness. We all tend to build things up in our minds to be a lot bigger than they really are. And as I always say, break the task down into smaller bites of willingness to and do that one thing. And then the next thing. And then the next. Break it down individually each day, per hour, per minute, whatever it takes to do that one thing. You might be dealing with something quite bigger. And it's not the task that's important. It's the life that's available after. It's not the task that you do that's so important. It's the life that's available after. Sometimes the task that we're actually facing is a lot simpler than we think it is. Hey, Steph, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. The problem becomes when we usually don't take the time to really look at it. Some of the things we face certainly can be challenging, but what's on the other side of those challenges at the same time is a life of our dreams. The life where we're willing and open and inspired to take it on. It becomes a lot clearer when you start to view the world through the lens of what you're willing and unwilling to pursue, rather than what it seems you want and don't want. You'll start focusing on what's really important to you and your life instead of wasting time worrying about the things other people have. Things really start to take shape when you realize that you've replaced the words like envy, lust, and desire with the willingness to change your life for the better. We take control over the subconscious thoughts and feelings that previously directed our behavior away from where we truly want it to go, when we understand what we are genuinely willing to do. We have the ability to determine what our truth is, and not from some subconscious glitch that keeps popping up from the past, but instead from your cognitive and conscious self, from the power of intervening on behalf of yourself. Willingness is a truth. When you own your choice, those thoughts of, I'm a failure because I don't make X amount, or I am fat and lazy because I'm not a size X, whatever that might be, it won't have power to make you feel like crap. When you frame the obstacles in your life as a matter of willing and unwilling, instead of the negative opinions of yourself and your circumstances, you actually break through the self-imposed barriers that are truly holding you back. You'll be able to see things, be able to see through the distraction of self-talk and the drama that you bring on yourself. Nothing else matters when you realize that you're willing to do what it takes. You won't put off the things that you truly want and are willing to do. You won't neglect the responsibilities you took on because you will feel the strong sense of willingness to do them. That word willingness, it's the lifeblood of the new, the infinite well of possibilities and potential, a state where new future arises and a whole new you can begin. Ask yourself, Am I willing? And continue to ask that over and over until you can hear it first thing in the morning when you wake up and the last thing at night when you lay your head down, or while you're driving down the road, or even when you're in the shower. Am I willing? Keep on asking that till you get a resounding yes that echoes through your consciousness. I am willing. So last chat participation for the night. So this will be the last one to get your entry into next Monday Motivations drawing that we'll do. Last participation chat for the night. Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing? I know y'all been saying it throughout the whole night, but I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you willing? Sandy says yes. Lisa D says yes, I am. Joanne says yes. Cool Wrench says yes. Nancy says yes. Good. That's what I wanted to hear. Keep on coming back because we're going to keep building from this. Steph says yes. Steph, I don't know if you've been here the whole time or not, but go back if you haven't. I know you would appreciate some of the things. You need to claim it, live it, and breathe it. Josie says, when is possible, I'll take it. Claim it, live it, and breathe it. As always, thank you guys for starting off your week with me for Monday Motivation. I hope you got something out of tonight's topic. Tomorrow night, I will be on with my feather sister, Selena, for our one fry short of a Happy Meal at 7:30 p.m. Central. There she is. Yep, I am hen. Yes, you're hen. Okay. That's right. Sandy says, if you're not willing, then I'm going to push you. Steph says, it's catching up with my folks nearby, but we'll definitely go back and check it out. Awesome. I miss you, Steph. I miss you so much. I'm so glad to see you back live as well. All right. So Wednesday night, I will be over, Selena and I both will be over on Josie's channel at 6 p.m. Central. So make sure you're subscribed to each other. Make sure you're subscribed to Josie's place as well. That way you don't miss us 3 hands. I'm going to use Selena's line. I know what Selena was saying. She was in. But, enjoy our cackling and talking back and forth, or clucking. And then Thursday night, I will have Cool Ranch Dorito, my sister from Colorado, on with me at 7:30 p.m. Central. And then Saturday night, I believe, I will be over on Cool Ranch's channel at 7 p.m. Central, I believe is when that is. So, right, prayers for dear Josie. She needs them all when we're with her. So, next Monday Motivation, a week from today, we'll do the drawing for the chat participation that I've been starting, you guys. We will do that. But our topic for next Monday is going to be, I am wired to win. I am wired to win. So we're going to go into that and see what that's all about. Make it a great week. If I don't see you somewhere around the YouTube, remember to be willing to believe that you are worthy of good things happening in your life. Now let's do this thing. Good night, everybody.